going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day today. Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies having a nice bounce back from the fake out that we had where we got all the way up to about $7,200, plummeted to $6,500, and currently we are still ascending upwards on this trend. Short term, this is good for Bitcoin. We're going to get into the price action in a bit, but something much more severe, especially more important than just the short term price action, is the fact that central banks have recommended to ban stable coins. Now, before you freak out, this is just a recommendation. We have verified this on multiple sources. You can see G20 Watchdog warns nations to mitigate risks against stable coins, and we need to talk about this today. Now, some of you might be saying to yourself, well, what does it matter? I don't own Tether. I don't use stable coins. I'm in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Might sound good on the surface to all the maximalists. Great, this is going to drive attention and drive support towards things like Bitcoin and Ethereum and maybe even XRP, but I'm going to show you today why that's actually not the case. In fact, you can see a lot of the volume alone comes from things, for example, Tether being the number 4 coin today. Look at this. It has $42 billion worth of volume, whereas Bitcoin only has 34, which means there is actually more trading happening today with Tether than there is with Bitcoin. And yes, I know a lot of this is wash traded. We can look into something like Messari Crypto. They have more accurate data, but the point still stands that this is definitely going to affect the crypto space. So that is what I want to talk about today. You're definitely going to want to stick around for this video. I'm going to make it nice and short. We're going to get straight to the point. And afterwards, I do have some good news, though. We have a lot of eyes, actually, on Bitcoin. For example, one specific metric recently is the fact that the search for Bitcoin halving is actually at an all-time high. And we've seen a lot of other people talking about it. Rich Dad, Poor Dad author, right? We've also seen Minority Mindset. They're a channel that has over 576,000 subscribers talking about it. So we're going to get into all that today super quick. Stick around to the end of this video. If you find value out of it, obviously feel free to hit the like button, subscribe, drop me a comment, but without further ado, let's dive right into the chart super quick, and then we'll get to the important news of the day. So we are still in this uptrend. Short term, that does look good for Bitcoin. You could see we did fall out, though, of the flag that we were in, and like I said, we did have a lot of support right here and here. We had some right here, we struggled, but then the support became resistance, so now we're struggling to break back above this level. Currently, to break above that, we would have to get above the $7,200 level. We might be putting in a bit of a head and shoulders pattern if this does play out. We could potentially see Bitcoin fall down to about the $5,800 level. That's a big if. If it does play out, we still have our eyes on the $7,800 level, and we do have a CME futures gap on the daily up at $9,060. So yes, we could potentially fill that gap and have a massive blast off. However, is that what we should be expecting short term? Well, let's just take it a day at a time, guys. But we need to talk about this news, okay? And let me tell you why this is so important, because stable coins do make up a majority of the trading pairs that happen across many of the exchanges, right? So let's just talk about what's happening right now. Essentially, the Financial Stability Board released a document basically addressing the regulatory, supervisory, and oversight challenges raised by global stablecoins. The document, although only consultative in nature, does reveal disturbing plans for a globally coordinated move against stablecoins of all varieties. Now, if you think this doesn't affect you, just think about all the stable coins that are used in DeFi, okay? We're going to get into the implications in just a second. So basically, they made 10 high-level recommendations addressing the central banks and authorities at the jurisdictional level. More specifically, they recommend a unified global approach to the supervision and regulation of fiat-pegged cryptocurrencies. Furthermore, the FSB suggests to authorities that if they can't control and regulate fully decentralized stable coins, they should consider banning them. Yes, you heard that right. This is pretty crazy, guys. So, moreover, the FSB urges that global stablecoins could pose significant governance challenges to central banks. The board seems especially concerned with the macro financial problems that could arise if, over time, citizens in both advanced and emerging market economies begin favoring stablecoins over existing fiat currencies. So these guys are scared that people are going to realize the frictionless nature of stablecoins, and they're not going to use the existing structure that's been built. According to them, another potential issue is that under the distressed macroeconomic conditions, such as the current virus that it shall not be named, the situation right now, global stablecoins could essentially become a sort of hybrid retail repo market for the US dollar, right? Almost acting like the black market. Some people might call it the free market. You can see right here, they give a bunch of examples, and they do point out 10 recommendations. Now, I'm not going to go through all of them today. That would take up the whole video, but you can see I did highlight right here. Authorities should have the ability to mitigate risks associated with or prohibit the use of certain or specific stablecoins in their jurisdictions where these do not meet the applicable regulatory, supervisory, or oversight requirements, which means if you guys thought it was bad over on Binance being a US citizen, not even being able to use it right now, well, what happens if the jurisdictions come out and say, we are banning stablecoins? Think about the limitations of what you would be able to do. If you're trying to buy in with something on Coinbase, you're not going to be able to potentially use a stablecoin to, maybe move into it real quick. So what are you going to have to do? Cash it out every single time to your bank account, pay full on taxes, then go back into it? I mean, technically, that's what you're supposed to be doing anyway, right? Let's continue. Well, they say that stablecoins play a leading role in the cryptocurrency ecosystem. In fact, the 5 largest stablecoins account for 2/3 of all of the trading volume. So despite representing less than 4% of the market cap for public ledger tokens, they make an impact. With over 75,000 daily active addresses on just Tether alone, the Genesis stablecoin only lags behind Bitcoin and Ethereum in terms of adoption. In summary, the most important effect that stablecoins have had on the cryptocurrency markets is the improved liquidity that it brings. So, if the G20 heeds the recommended put forth by the FSB, the stablecoin ecosystem, as people know it, will face immeasurable peril. The first order of effect would be a dramatic reduction in liquidity for crypto assets. Now, don't forget, this is going to affect exchanges. This is going to affect market makers. This is going to affect institutional lenders. In fact, Binance's top 5 trading pairs are USDT and represent 57% of the exchange volume alone. Now, here is the big kicker for all of my Ethereum fanatics out there. Out of all of the niches in crypto, potentially DeFi, decentralized finance, could be potentially hit the hardest, which they are reliant on stablecoins. Let's just take MakerDAO, for example. It has its entire business model basically based on stablecoins, and it could come under heavy regulation, right? Compound could also be eviscerated, and many of the other value-add services that leverage stablecoins could lose hard-earned traction generated over the last year. Given the circumstances, this may prove favorable for exchanges potentially like Coinbase. Now, we know that Coinbase has gone to great lengths essentially to work with the grace of the US regulators. So maybe they will develop something. Maybe USDC coin will become the regulated coin. But what that means is that anybody using it is going to have it regulated. It's going to be used in know your customer addresses. And it's just basically going to turn into a surveillance tool. They're going to know absolutely everything that you are doing. And it's going to be no better than keeping your money essentially in a bank account or using a credit card or something like Venmo or PayPal. And it's also going to massively hit things like MakerDAO, exchanges, and the liquidity of cryptocurrency as we know it is definitely going to fall under a lot of issues. This may even turn some people off. Some people may say, screw this. I don't even want to be involved in this. I'm going to pull my money out right now. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. It might be nothing. It might be no big deal at all. Or on the flip side, it could be really good for things like Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? People might move into it and say, well, if I can't hold a stable coin, but Bitcoin's all right, then maybe they'll choose to do that instead. That is a possibility. I want you to let me know what you think about that in the comments. Definitely get involved. Let's start a conversation below. I wanted to bring it up to you. I'm not going to say that this is the worst thing to happen, but massive regulation like this, especially straight up banning stablecoins, will definitely have an effect on Bitcoin and all of cryptocurrencies, not to mention altcoin trading. A lot of people trade altcoins in and out of USDT, right? So how is that going to be affected? Let me know, guys. But on the bright side, at the time of making this video, the Bitcoin halving is about 28 days away. And big news is the Bitcoin halving searches on Google Trends. See, I had throw a little bit of positive news in there as well, is at an all-time high. In fact, it broke its previous record that we hit on July 3rd of 2016. Apparently, Colorado is the most excited, having 100 score. But yes, this is very good news. We've also seen a lot of people coming out. Mike Novogratz said he's basically short the stocks. He is very excited about Bitcoin. Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And we've also had this video come out just today, just this morning at the time of making this video. It has about 5,000 views. And this is from Minority Mindset. And they are a channel that has over 576,000 subscribers. And currently the video has 600 likes. In fact, it now has 601 likes. So yeah, I mean, people are now starting to look for alternatives. They're saying, hey, this isn't working. The Fed just keeps printing money. In fact, there's actually this website, Burr with 7rs.com, you can go check out. But essentially, yes, this is what people are asking. They're saying, what else can I hedge my money into? Stocks are not doing well. They're pumping unlimited amounts of fiat into the system. I can't get my hands on any of the precious metals. And now you're seeing channels like Minority Mindset even make mentions of cryptocurrencies as people look for something to hold value in this time of economic turmoil. Not to mention the fact that we've seen BSV, Bitcoin Cash as well, have absolute flops on their halving. We've seen their hash rate plummet. In fact, today, you could see that Bitcoin is up. It will now cost about $650,000 per hour to attack the Bitcoin network 51% attack, where Bitcoin Cash is now all the way back to $5,926. That's what it would cost per hour if you wanted to 51% attack Bitcoin Cash. Doesn't exactly sound like a strong network to me, whereas Bitcoin's hash rate, although we did have this crazy plummet right here in mid-March, it has still continued its uptrend. In fact, if I zoom out to all time, does this look like something that's not going parabolic to you guys? So that is definitely good news for Bitcoin moving forward. Lots of eyes on it. Lots of people starting to turn to Bitcoin again. So while we do have the potential bad news as far as the stablecoin banning is concerned, we do have the Bitcoin halving to look forward to. Lots of people searching for it, and definitely increased interest in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as well. And actually, I want to end on one sort of funny story. So basically, an Italian blockchain firm, LKS, has created a non-fungible token-based system that allegedly can prevent the spread of fake news. Good old Donald Trump's favorite, right? Fake news. So basically, the system creates an NFT which contains the identity of the publisher, publishing time, and a link to the original source. The token confirms that the identity of the author, which is established through a KYC procedure, will basically have all timestamps that proves the time of publishing. Articles are processed by a non-reversible mathematical function, which creates an algorithmic string or a hash, which is then saved on change. If any single character of the article is edited, the hash changes, and the hash saved on the blockchain can prove that the article changed. When a publisher edits an article, he releases a new NFT with an updated hash link to the older one. So not exactly perfect, but hey, it's a step in the right direction. We're trying to combat fake news. And that being said, guys, thank you so much for coming back to the channel. Let me know what you think about the implications of these basically potential restrictions on stablecoins, or even the overall ban on stablecoins, or even an ultimate regulated Fed dollar that everybody has to have a wallet that's linked up. And just let me know what you guys think. It could be bad, it could be nothing, but that was the news I wanted to bring to you today. I hope you are staying safe out there in these wild and crazy times. If you want to join a community that loves talking about cryptocurrencies, you can go to my Telegram group, link below, absolutely free. We just hang out, talk about crypto all day. Definitely consider getting subscribed to the channel if you haven't. And that's all I got for you today, guys. So thank you once again for coming back to the channel. If you made it all the way to the end, pat yourself on the back. You are a trooper. I do love you. I do appreciate you. My name is K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.